And we're good. Okay, good enough. All right. Let me get to where I'm at. So, hey, and welcome back to the What If Universe. And today we're joined by SmugStick, who's well known for Dragon Ball What Ifs and all the other stuff. I'm not him, so he's gonna talk for himself, obviously. So, would you like to introduce yourself and talk about your channel a
Sure.
little bit?
Yeah, I'm SmugStick. I've been doing Dragon Ball What Ifs for a long time now. And I'm happy to be here. It's been a while, so it's cool to talk to you again, man.
Yeah, yeah, it has. For those who want a fun fact of the day, I did some editing back in the day. If people are curious, so if you want an adventure, check out some of Smug6 videos, and I might show up in the description. I will say, there's a few that are uncredited, and that's because I only edited half the video technically, because there's only 2 times that happened. To be fair, because those were fun stories. You're like tired, like, bro, can you just edit this for
Yeah.
me? It's like I'm just done. And
Yeah.
I was like, sure, I'll go do it. And
I used to be so
get off
busy
this.
back then that I was just I would just get halfway through a video and be like, I need to do like 50 homeworks tonight. Please
Well,
help me.
well, the grind is real. I'll say that
Hmm.
for people who ever ask for channels at this scale, like that's how it is. It's like I'm lucky that I can kind of control my own schedule at this point for how it is. So, for people wondering, for this interview, I'm going to be asking questions related to Dragon Ball What Is, as well as history to relationship with the Dragon Ball community and whatnot. And wait, so in the middle of this interview, I have a few Discord related questions. So if you want to join SmugStick's Discord at some point, I might toss that in the description, I guess, if you want to check that out. So
Hmm.
to get things started, what was it like making your first what if scenario?
So my first what if scenario ever, I'd probably have done like hundreds over the years before even starting YouTube. Just writing stuff out or making stories in my head when playing Budokai Tenkaichi 3 and stuff like that. So I wasn't unfamiliar with the subject already. My first one I ever did, I think, was what if Vegito never defused or something like that, and it was super amateurish. I think it was only like 15 or something like that when I made that. So I don't even know if it's still around. I don't think I still have it. But the first one I did in my actual style, which has, led to everything, uh, or at least the first one that really gained traction, was what if Goku joined the Saiyans and what if Broly became good, and those two really cemented what style I do and how I approach stories.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Hey, so you two people. So here's what happened. I forgot to hit record. The
No
intro
way.
is just gonna be the thumbnail for the first few minutes. And yeah, enjoy camera show. Yay. Man, I thought I turned it on again. We already did a test recording. We're doing it again. So yeah. So anyways, let's get back to subject. So what made you choose to do like what if scenarios? Because I know some people are kind of held back like personal struggles when they do YouTube. So what kind of helped you overcome to submit your style of content, kind of?
Well, I've been doing YouTube videos since I was like 10 years old. So I always knew that I wanted to video edit and stuff like that. And Dragon Ball has been such a special thing in my life that if I wanted to make videos about Dragon Ball, I was gonna do them. I think you know that I used to make Dragon Ball explained videos for a long time, and that was always super fun. But it was very niche, and I think it was a little harder for people to find interest in subjects that they don't have any idea about really in the first place. So after doing that for a while, I decided that I just really wanted to do videos about Dragon Ball to the point where if that how do I put this, to the point where if I had to make theories and what ifs inspired by video games, then I would do it, because it was fun to do in the first place. I was already familiar with the subject, and I feel personally that I know a lot about Dragon Ball, that I can make them entertaining and hide little things for people. So really, what drove me to continue doing Dragon Ball and what ifs and stuff beyond personal struggles and stuff like that is my love for the series, and the fact that I did want to learn how to video edit, and I did want to push myself forward with that, with those aspects.
That's a really understandable story. Like I haven't been around completely from what you're saying, but I was relatively close. Like I saw basically a good majority, I guess, besides Moscow X, because he started way earlier than a lot of people did as far as this content goes. But I saw so many people just pop off, and like this series is kind of to show people like how people get where they're at, should understand like this is actually more of a genre now. It's no longer just like, in my opinion, no longer part of AniTube. This is like its own thing, in my personal opinion. Like, wouldn't you kind of agree with that?
Yeah, no, I think what ifs have definitely grown into a different beast than they used to be, largely because of Masako X. But I think he has his own style compared to what other people do. I think.
No, I agree with that. I think that's helped though expand though, because everyone's like, well, maybe I don't agree with how Moscow does it, so maybe I want to do it differently. And the same thing can be said for anyone.
That's what I decided to do, because that Vegito what if I was talking about, I did it in front of the camera like Masako does, and I was like, I'm fine being in front of the camera. I think I'm a good performer, but my real strength lies in video editing. So if I want to do what ifs, then I'm gonna do it like I'm telling a story. What the real inspiration was like visual novels and stuff like that, like Ace Attorney, with just characters sliding in, text boxes and stuff like that. I've changed my style a little bit from that. I don't really do the text boxes anymore, but that was like the inspiration. You know what I mean?
I do like your addition to dialogue boxes. I haven't seen too many people do it that clean.
Yeah, I haven't done that as much in a while, just because I'm trying to get in the groove of putting them out faster, and when it comes to getting voice actors and stuff like that, it's a little complicated when it comes to time. So I might bring them back for really special occasions, because they're always fun to do, and the voice actors I work with are always great. Shout out to Dragon Ball University Josh, who's amazing voice actor. Yeah.
Yeah, Josh is a legend. I really like the stuff that he's done for your channel, even his own stuff. Like for every Dragon Ball movie that can't happen, that's fantastic series. Like,
yeah, it is.
Like that was like very inspirational, at least in that aspect, to understand how people make content.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the idea with like the analysis of it, I guess is the best way to describe it.
Mm-hmm. It looks like my camera stopped on your thing.
It did. Oh. Yes, it did. Oh no.
I look really dumb too. No.
Let me see if I can fix that.
Oh, I'm back.
Okay. It's probably internet sucks. Oh well. Alright. So now we're good. Anyways, so I was actually curious, so what did you learn from making like your first what if scenario, actually?
I don't recall which one was my first one, but my first proper one. It was either the Goku during the Saiyans one or the Broly one. But what I learned was really the style and taking inspiration from already established things. Because a lot of people just make what ifs out of whatever they want, right? And that makes sense. That's what a what if is. But I what I do a lot is I look at old Dragon Ball video games and the what ifs they do to build a story. Like my most viewed what if is what if Bardock met Goku, and that one is taken from Burst Limit, where Bardock, after being defeated by Frieza, gets taken into the future and meets Goku and Krillin and everybody else. It's very much inspired by that. So the Broly one, which I think is the first one I did, was taken from Supersonic Warriors 2 or maybe 1, but just taking those ideas, expanding upon them, and just explaining what they are. Like one of my favorite videos I've done is Goku and Vegeta's final battle or something like that, which is taken from the explanation of what happens to Goku and Vegeta at the end of Dragon Ball Online, or in the Dragon Ball Online timeline, and expanding upon it, what they did before they left, what their fight was like, how they transformed, stuff like that. And yeah, just taking things that people already know about Dragon Ball or may have experienced in the past, and just expanding upon them, which I think is really fun to do.
So you could say like the games kind of heavily inspired you for sure.
Oh yeah, for
Helped
sure.
you realize like how you wanted to format it.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows the what ifs from Budokai 2, like Super Buu absorbing Vegeta, or Raditz turning good from Tenkaichi 2. I mean, these are things that my generation, I know there's a whole new generation of Dragon Ball fans that didn't grow up with those things, but my generation is very familiar with. I hope that more what ifs come in future Dragon Ball games and inspires more people to think creatively about their own series that they love. Because at the end of the day, any fiction at all, even if it is your own original universes, you create these characters and you think, what if I made them do this? And then you write, everything that's ever been written at the end of the day it starts with what if, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think a lot of people underestimate like when making content, because I think some people think that they have to take things over seriously, and that's kind of correct, but it's more that you're putting passion into something, not necessarily you have to take everything cut and dry. Because fanfiction only exists because people are willing to write outside the boundaries of it, and eventually what ifs were like the niche in between for both genres to an extent.
Yeah, I think I don't necessarily like, because I know one of the questions is going to be, do you consider what ifs fanfiction? And for me, I know a lot of people do. For me, I don't consider them fanfiction. I consider them theories of realities and analysis of realities that could be in Dragon Ball. Of course, there's elements of it that come from fanfiction stuff, but I think fanfiction is a little more like creating your own story in a world rather than changing things in the world and then seeing how the story plays out. I've dabbled in both, obviously, but I think what ifs lean more towards theories overall than yeah, you know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. And I think there's other things that exist out there. Like, I know some stuff I like to do. I like to put a lot of satirization with stuff that I do. So, like, for my, like, what if Hercules is Saiyan? Well, Saiyans were known to have more, like, a hickish kind of background, at least as far as what we saw happen with Goku. So I was like, okay, why don't I make Hercule like this country-sounding guy? And that's how SSBA took on that role. Be like, oh yeah, like I'm actually good at fighting. Hey, what's going on? It's post-production video editing Drew. So yeah, this episode / interview had some missing parts due to the recorder that I was using to record the interview, SmugStick. It kind of just disappeared for a little bit, so I'm kind of just gonna edit around that and just have this little intermission here to remind you to like this if you enjoyed it, and if you want to ask any questions, feel free to throw them in the comment section. Who knows, I might do a follow-up interview within like the next few years here or so. I'm trying not to make these super, like, same person all the time. There's so many people in the What If community, so if you also don't want to ask a question, you just want to comment someone else you want me to interview, just put that down there too. And yeah, just like the video if you've been enjoying this interview so far, and let's get back into the interview here. So, oh yeah, I was curious, what do you do when you get writer's block, actually?
I listen to a lot of music. I don't do it as much as before, just because I don't know. I haven't listened to too much new music lately. But what I would usually do, I would find an album that would remind me of a character that I'm writing about. Like, I think one of my most memorable ones, I don't remember which story it was for, but I was writing something about Vegeta. So I listened to the whole Black Parade album by My Chemical Romance with it in the background, and I wrote to the music. So, with the first song, Black Parade, it's all about like a father talking to his son and telling him, oh, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna be, I don't know. But I wrote it as King Vegeta talking to Prince Vegeta, and then just continued the whole album from there and just took inspiration from that. I think music overall is just really a good way to, even if you're not writing at the same time, just sitting down and listening to music really really helps.
I I remember a while back I gave you this whole playlist of music that sounded like Persona at one time.
Yeah,
'Cause you told me you like Persona music. It's like, okay,
I
here's
do
this
love it.
whole track.
Hmm.
I remember that a while back. Uh, Something else I was curious about is like how would you kind of describe your what if writing style compared to like a few other people? You don't have to name people if you don't want to. Just kind of be
Um,
generalizing if you want to.
I mean, I'm not too familiar with the community as a whole when it comes to the
That's
smaller
fair.
channels. Obviously,
Nah,
I'm friends with Carthu and Salin and stuff like that. I think um to be fair, I don't watch that many of them either.
no,
Just overall,
no, I understand. I'm like one of the people who happens to know everybody else, and that's kind
yeah,
of it. Because there's not really many other people who
yeah.
talk to people on a daily enough basis, in my opinion, from what I've
Um,
seen.
so my own writing style is the thing I love about Dragon Ball, above anything else, is the characters. So I really try to focus on
Yeah,
character interactions, and the fighting is just the core. Is just a tool to use in storytelling. So sometimes I make the fightings like really bombastic and like, but that's mostly to show how a character fights in relation to the other character. So if I have Goku and Vegeta fighting, and this is a Vegeta that came to Earth with Goku, he's gonna fight more like a Saiyan than Goku is, but he still has that Kame soul within him, and I show that through the fighting itself, which leads to more character interactions. How does Goku react to that? What does Vegeta think about the Kamehameha and stuff like that? Which I think is more important above all, just for my own what ifs. I definitely do much less like explainy videos, like due to Goku going Super Saiyan at this point, he does this and stuff like that, which is completely fine. There people like that. Some people like that stuff better. I just like I like to think that somebody, and I have gotten comments like this, that somebody is at work or driving to work listening to my what ifs like it's a radio drama. I treat mine much more like it's a radio drama than anything else, even if I'm still explaining something.
yeah, yeah. Entertainment's more subjective. I think personally, it's more fun to actually get a character moment and then you as a viewer kind of translate. Be like, oh, like Goku got really angry. That's how he somehow became Majin. That makes sense. It's like there was an argument between this character and this one. It's like it works because if you know the core story, you probably know what most likely happened.
Yeah, exactly. All of my what ifs, I do assume that people already know Dragon Ball. I mean, it's the biggest anime franchise in the whole world. So if somebody's watching Dragon Ball what if videos expecting me to explain to them what happens in the Pilaf arc originally, without any changes, and then explain what I'm doing in my story, I just
I mean,
always
to be fair, there's so many people who have not watched original Dragon Ball for
yeah.
whatever reason.
I do give the Dragon Ball fandom a little bit too much credit when it comes to that, I think.
I mean, I read the manga. Like, that's the credit I can give myself for that. Like, it was a very weird watch order for me because I watched GT first. I read the original Dragon Ball manga, and then I went to Kai and Super. So it's a very
Interesting.
out of order.
That's really funny. I
So,
think for me, I watched the Saiyan arc, the Frieza arc. Then I watched all of the Buu arc, completely skipped Cell. I watched the Buu arc like 50 times as a kid. Then I went back and watched the original Dragon Ball. I watched GT along the way there too. And then at the very end of everything, I watched the Cell arc. And that's probably why I don't like the Cell arc as much as others, just because it was the last thing I watched. But
at some point, I need to watch Original Z. That's the only thing Dragon Ball media I haven't
do
fully
you?
seen, really.
Do you have to? Do you have to?
I mean, Pycon seems kind of like a cool character from what I've seen. He seems alright, you know?
Listen, I have a lot of opinions about the different adaptations of Dragon Ball, and I will say that the Z soundtrack in the original Japanese is the greatest piece of music ever composed. But other than that, I don't think I have the stomach to watch Dragon Ball Z again in its entirety.
Nah, I can understand that. It's more for me the fact that if there's not much else I haven't seen yet, it's kind of like it'd be. It's more of an experience thing, I guess, for me.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, it's a rite of passage in this fandom at this point. You know what I mean?
But to be fair, I'm watching Boruto right now, so maybe I think something else would be better than what I'm currently watching. But
Yeah, I mean,
it's for a video project, and also as someone who's doing Naruto was / assisting with them, I have to know the lore, which is the thing that people don't consider in the What If community. Like, there are things that you might watch that you might not like at all, like for episodes, but you need to know what you're talking about because you'll make mistakes.
That's one of the funniest things is I like the Frieza arc, but writing the Frieza arc is complete hell because there's so many moving pieces at all times in that arc that I tried to get through it as much as possible.
Elsewhere, you have like, depending who's arriving dynamic first.
Yeah,
then Goku shows up depending on what timing.
It's such a pain. It's such a pain. I get so tired of it. And Cell arc is probably even worse because of the time travel. You know.
Well, especially how time travel works in Dragon Ball. That genuinely needs like a good explanation video.
Yeah, there used to be one, but somebody ought to make one again. I could maybe one day. I haven't done many explained videos in a while. And I think that one needs an update specifically because of Super. But I haven't looked them up in a while, so maybe there's one.
Let's see. We kind of covered this question a little bit. I asked about like, does a What If really need a story behind him, or could they just be like a simple explanation video?
Right.
I kind of think some can.
I think definitely some can be just explanation videos, especially when it's a more simplistic idea. Like what if Krillin killed Vegeta? I think that one is so grounded and so possible in the original story that you could just do an explanation video through that whole thing and be completely fine. But other ones where it gets a little crazier, I think it's worthwhile exploring with a more story-based thing. But then, like, yeah, either or is completely fine. I don't think one discredits the other, and people who like whichever, you know, it's fine.
Yeah, it's a fairly simple topic. Let's see. I already asked about this art thing. So the other thing I was curious about is like, when you started like your second channel or second channels, like how was it making like non-What If content for first time in a while?
It was cool. I did an Avatar video, and I want to do more stuff. I do have something recorded that I need to edit. I just haven't had time to.
That Avatar video, just want to let people know you should watch it. It's probably one of my favorite Avatar videos in a while.
Thanks. Yeah, right that one's great. That one was a lot of fun to do. And I really want to make more stuff on that channel, more like general anime stuff. But What If just takes
Avatar's an anime? No, that's
all right. But What If just take a long time. And listen, I'm gonna hit you up with some editing stuff soon to relieve myself. You got it.
I mean, I'll try to hold you accountable. I can't promise anything for my schedule, obviously.
No worries.
Something else I was curious about is like, are there any like What If ideas you haven't done yet, but like consider like running a What If through like Google Translate and then reading it, or reviewing like Marvel's What If scenario series or something like that?
I do gotta continue the Marvel DBZ one. That one's. It's just that one doesn't get that many views, and it takes a long time to make just because all the comics and all the different characters that I'm not as familiar with. I gotta continue that one. I'm doing.
That's 100% fair. It's a very like, as someone who talks with Chimp on a decently regular basis, it's like the scaling for that What If has so much moving parts that it's something that I could possibly do, but there's so much, like especially Secret Wars. Would be the next upcoming part. Like there's so much that happens.
It's a lot, and Chimp's been a champ with that one. He's been so much help. I gotta get back on that one. One that Chimp and I were talking about for a while, and I edited the first half of the video, but I haven't been able to do the rest. is what if JoJo was an MCU movie? We're working on
that
that
would be
one.
really fun.
Yeah, that one is super cool. I edited part 1, like part 1, JoJo part 1, not part 1 of the video. So I need to continue that one, because Chimp and I got pretty into that one. We came up with some pretty crazy ideas. But yeah.
Yeah, people ask me about other series. Why I don't get What If series? I think the issue is that Dragon Ball has the best amount of available resources that are out there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, like,
the
you
only
tried
other one is Naruto. Which
Yeah,
happens to be
Naruto,
the only other series I do stuff.
And for some reason, Yu-Gi-Oh has a bunch of assets as well out there.
Yes,
like
even Yu-Gi-Oh does.
Yeah, even Marvel, like trying to find renders for the Marvel What Ifs, it's impossible. It's so hard to find images of the characters with transparent backgrounds.
One Piece is actually relatively okay. The problem is there's just a lot of stuff in like the backgrounds and stuff, so they're kind of tricky to use.
Yeah.
For What Ifs.
So Dragon Ball is just there's so much content out there to do, and yeah, and Dragon Ball is my playground. You know what I mean? Like, I know Dragon Ball like the back of my hand. So
yes. Sorry, but gone a tangent there. Something else some people asked me about. This last thing relates to me, honestly. People are curious if we'll remaster our collab or go back to it, because there is stuff that we can't cover.
Yeah, I think we should remaster or remake it, because
my audio was awful in that video.
Yeah, mine was still, like, I'm not nearly as good as at voice at performing as I am now. I think we should edit some stuff about it. I think we could add more ideas now that there's so much new Dragon Ball stuff. Like, I think something to do with Granola.
Wasn't done yet.
The Moro arc in that What If would be nuts. Like, the Moro, the Planet Eater, versus a whole planet of Goku, of Metal Goku. Can you imagine that?
Well, especially because originally, like, with Broly defeating Goku, that was neat. But the thing is, like, if that didn't happen, I do think it would have ended up being Moro, though. Because I think Moro would have won, though, I feel like.
I think so, too. You know, if we do it again, I think we should have pretty much the same until the Broly thing, and Broly gets taken over by the Big Eddie Star as well.
Yeah, because that part, we were trying to write an ending. Like, that's how we wanted to do it, because it could have been super dark, kind of like how the beginning was, because so many people were surprised when that came out. People are like, you killed off a lot of main characters. Like, yeah, I mean, it's like no one else was doing it.
Right, yeah, what do we, like, you take a concept about Goku being taken over by the Big Eddie Star, nobody stands a chance. I don't know what to tell you.
Like, that was, the thing is, like, so many people like that, because that was fairly new as far as evil Goku concepts go, because there were a couple, but they weren't, in my opinion, as well written as that. Like, I think we actually put a decent job for what it was at the time.
I think we did a pretty good job, man. I think we could do something like that again.
I think we can do it better, though, because with the Moro arc, we have that solved. I'm not sure about Granola arc personally. I'm not sure I don't want to talk about it.
I mean, it's not even over yet, so we'll see. We'll see with that one.
I mean, it is pretty gas from what I've seen so far. Moro arc.
Yeah.
At least that's what people are telling me. It's just gas. I don't know.
It's just gas. That's so funny.
All right, let's get into Discord fan questions. So, Young Dramps asked, is there a series other than Dragon Ball you'd like to do more videos on at some point?
I did talk about the JoJo one that I want to do. That one would be fun. I'd like to do Naruto, maybe? I'm not nearly as intimately familiar with Naruto, and Naruto's a much more complicated world than Dragon Ball.
Naruto has a ton of moving parts. The song is edited for Sage almost a year now. Wow. There's so much that goes into his stuff the more that I look at it. Because I think it's like, why'd you write this? It's like, oh, there isn't any other way you could have done that.
Yeah, exactly. If I change something over here, I'm gonna have to change like 20 other things over here. So it's like, that would be a little harder. I don't know, Dragon Ball's the one thing that I'm really, really familiar. Oh, Demon Slayer. I would love to do Demon Slayer with us. I love Demon Slayer. but I'm not done with the manga. So maybe after I'm done with that, I could do that.
I'm not sure about Yu-Gi-Oh at all. Would you be interested in that?
I don't think Yu-Gi-Oh. Like
That's the
you,
thing,
I
though.
like
There's so much stuff with card game stuff that you would have to do if you
exactly
want to
right.
play it legitimately.
Mm-hmm.
And it's possible. I'll say that. There is a way to do it, but it would
Yeah.
take a while, realistically.
Yeah, I
You'd
love
have to have a
Yu-Gi-Oh
lot
to
of
death.
dedication.
The original manga is probably my favorite manga of all time, but yeah, it's just a lot, and I don't think I could do it unless I did something like what if Yugi was in Dragon Ball and he used his deck
Yeah.
instead of like fighting or something like that. I don't know, but
I know.
I don't think so.
I know one what if I am working on is putting Yami in MHA because Mind Crush is broken. If it can remove all evil from someone, you're kind of screwed as soon
Yeah,
as he walks up to you. Like,
yeah.
that's gonna be good. Like, power scaling that is nuts. If that's how you have, if that's what it legitimately does, which technically, that's what it's explained what it does.
Yeah, I think that'd be dope. You know, like Yami asking somebody for, challenging someone to a penalty game in the middle of a battle arena between the UA and the what's it called, the League of Villains.
Well, exactly, because people forget original manga was completely different direction. And if you kept that character style of being like very, because he wouldn't necessarily, I don't think would be a good guy. He would kind of be more of an anti-hero to an extent.
Well, yeah.
He's removing free will from
For sure.
people. That would be
Yami
conflict.
means darkness, so
I think that's the more interesting part.
yeah.
As far as that goes. See, Professor Chimp was wondering, what was it like when you first started YouTube? I think that though.
Kind of. I didn't really go into the when I really first started YouTube when I was like 10 years old. I would make Lego stop motion animation videos. That was super fun. I always loved doing that. I have one or two still up there somewhere. I did some gaming videos. I did Dragon Ball Shinen. It's a YouTube channel. He's a really cool guy. He used to do Dragon Ball fan fictions using Budokai Tenkaichi 3. I don't know if you ever saw that kind of stuff, but it was super cool, and I did a couple of videos like that as well. And then of course I went to explained videos, and now we're here.
All right. Sharad the Hedgehog asks, what do you think about crossover what ifs?
Crossover what ifs are really cool. I think they were overdone for a while. Maybe 1 or 2 years ago, like everybody was doing crossover what ifs all the time. And it got
SEO,
a little difficult.
I'm pretty sure that's why.
Yeah.
Like search engine optimization, you get so many characters, so many search results. I feel like that.
They're really fun. Of course, I gotta give a shout out to the best crossover what if of all time, which is what if the Saiyans were in DC. Shout out my boy Geeks for Fun. What an amazing series.
To be fair, I mean your Superman one kind of falls in that category.
Yeah, it was part of that. I wasn't too happy with the direction I took with it. And I think I'll leave it to Alfie and the rest to do that. I do want to do more stuff like that. I think Goku not Goku my hero, Goku Demon Slayer or Demon Slayer DBZ, something like that would be cool. I think they're super fun. It brings out a lot of creativity to try to put a character that does not belong in that world over there, you know. And it's
I personally want your take with Naruto, not Naruto, with Goku and Naruto's universe, because I feel like you could understand him as a character and how he would develop in that universe better than what I've seen so far.
I think I could. I think you'd have to change his powers a little bit. I mean, like one of the ones I did that people really liked was Star Wars, Dragon Ball Star Wars. I gotta make a part 2 for. It's so old, but that one was really meant to be a one shot. But people really like it, so I do want to make a second part. It's just the Star Wars universe is a little tricky to power scale with DBZ because DBZ is so insane, and a lot of people were upset about how weak I made the Saiyans, but it was a necessity if I wanted them to realistically live in that world. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I think that's just how it is. Like, I think one crazy thing, like, do you know Halo?
Yeah.
The Halo rings are nuts because if I put characters in that universe, that means the Halo rings scale above like a ton of Saiyans, and that is something very scary to think about. Like, there's weapons that are up that scale theoretically.
I mean that's if there is one thing I want to do with a crossover is covering the Star Wars one again, and can you just imagine, you know, Goku in Alderaan, the Death Star fires a laser, Goku fires right back a Kamehameha, and there's a clash. That'd be super dope. That'd be so cool, and just stuff like that's just insane to think about. Would be cool to cover.
All right, last question from Discord from Doge the Grappler. What was your favorite video you've made so far?
That's a good question. I've liked a lot of them. I think my favorite one of all time has to be what if Goku and Vegeta went back in time, like that whole series.
I'm not sure if I edited one of those.
I think you edited. Yeah, I think you edited part 2. I
feel like I edited one of them.
Yeah, I think you edited part 2. Yeah, that one's so fun. Especially the end. The last part is literally just a celebration of what ifs, the community as a whole. I mean, I have cameos from Salad Saiyan characters. Salad appears in the video. The Geeks for Fun appears in the video. His voice is also there. I give a shout out to, or not a shout out, but I allude to Masako X and Karthu and stuff like that. That was just a celebration of the community.
Yeah.
And
do you see Salad in the new Dragon Ball Superhero trailer that Karthu tweeted out?
No.
I showed that to people, and someone thought it was real for a second because they didn't know who Salad Saiyan was.
That was so funny. And I saw on TikTok somebody talking about it. I was like, "What, dude? What are you talking about?" A purple cell is the new villain. Yeah.
I just like we're reaching a point in status where we can tweet something dumb out, and people are making a theory video on TikTok because I think it's legitimate source.
The fact that Karthu had that power was hilarious.
Like, that was great.
But yeah,
something else I was curious about asking about is, should content creators allow their fans to dictate what they make?
You mean like, to a degree, right? I mean, we're all subjects to their likes. Like, if I ask on the comments for them to comment like what if that they'd like to see, and I look at it and I think it's a good idea, then yeah, I mean, why not? If they want to see it, they'll probably like it. They'll probably click on it. When it comes to like story directions, I think that's when we have to be a little more detached. It's no offense, some of y'all come up with really dumb ideas.
No, I've seen comments like that. It's like, oh, this should happen. It's like,
and I think the worst.
Know how to make it work.
Yeah, I think the worst thing that people ask for is for my "What if Goku and Caulifla were siblings" series.
Or sisters.
Everybody wants them to get together, and that shit is disgusting. Stop.
Man, that's gotta be a clippable moment at some point. I feel like if I ever do highlights for these, oh man. But that is true. So many people want that. I see in the comments. It's kind of disgusting. Not gonna lie. Let's see. As someone who's created What Ifs for a while, what's some advice you would give out to like other people who want to start out or haven't been making content? I guess
I definitely suggest to do a different series than Dragon Ball, because Dragon Ball is so bloated with people doing it already.
No, I'm gonna say something controversial. I agree with that sentiment because it's been very inflated. Naruto's running into the same issues, and I'm very curious where the community as a whole is gonna go, because I plan to talk to what's his name? I'm trying to remember. Saiyan Scholar. He had interesting takes about where What If community is going, why he kind of dropped off doing them. So that's
I
gonna be
think
when that comes out.
I think eventually it's gonna get to the point where only the big guys stay, and everybody else that tries. I mean, it's kind of like that right now already. Is like the smaller
I
channels
mean,
don't really reach an audience. You know
I
what I
already
mean?
kind of planned for that because the most active What If channel besides Anime Sage is like Naruto Explained and like a few other power scalers. And that's it. Like, there's no
Yeah.
other big Naruto
I
What If
think
YouTubers I can name off my head.
yeah.
Despite me in the community so much.
I think for Dragon Ball, I think Karthu, Salad, me, and Masako. Unless I'm forgetting somebody, I think we're gonna be the ones that really stay, and
I will
think
say
that the smaller guys are gonna
plus
have a harder time.
Ultraman posts more, he would fall in that group.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I would at least put him as an honorable mention personally. He does good quality for what he has. And
yeah,
his
he does. No,
really
he does
good.
great. Yeah, no, his stuff is fantastic. He just hasn't uploaded much in a while. I think I don't know much. I haven't seen him in a while. Does Goku T23 still do well? Does he still upload a lot?
Oh, Goku T23. If you want to count him, yes, I would put him at least top 5. His views do great. Like content is subjective, but he's doing fine. So
yeah, so
he's doing
he counts
fine.
as well. Yeah, I think we're gonna be the ones to stay. And if you do make Dragon Ball What Ifs, find a niche, because your niche is very important.
I mean, my niche is kind of there. I've reached a point where I'm trying to aim more satirical, doing less likely scenarios that would happen.
I think
kind of just playing them out the best I can, because
if there's any
reaching a point,
yeah,
like I think, like what you mentioned, a lot of those people take things overly seriously to an extent. Like, what I'm trying to do is more parody in a sense.
Yeah, that's fun.
Do stuff that TFS would do, so it kind of makes sense, but it doesn't, you know? It's like internet culture mixed in, I guess.
I think if there's one channel that I think deserves to grow much more than it has already is Geeks for Fun. I already mentioned them with their Dragon Ball DC What If, but everything they do, Dragon Ball Bombshells and the Norse Gods that they did a while back, and they're making a new Yamoshi story coming up. I think their stuff is fantastic. I think they're probably the best people in the game right now, and they deserve a lot more love.
The person for me, at least Dragon Ball related, would be Dragon Star Productions.
Should be me.
Well, why did I say you? You already said yourself.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Because Dragon Star has a good standing in the community. He has relatively consistently with his uploading. He hasn't switched content like Tyler, who does like, what's that Netflix show with karate, the Karate Kid sequel?
Oh, yeah, Cobra Kai. What about it?
Yeah, he does Cobra Kai what ifs now. He kind of dropped off from Dragon Ball / Naruto what ifs he did. Yeah, I'm trying to think who else. Dex, he switched over Pokemon what ifs. I've been enjoying those ever since he's done that.
That's
he used to do a lot of Dragon Ball stuff and MHA time to time. But I do think those are the only notable ones, because Saladin, his channel got nuked. Like, he could have stuck around. Unfortunately, that was when the fake Toei striking thing happened.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember that.
And Saiyan Scholar, he quit doing what ifs. Like, he would fit in that genre, in my opinion, because he did like what Bardock was a scientist. That one was really good.
Yeah, but he's doing his own thing now, like a lot of explained videos and stuff like that. He seems to be doing pretty well. So
no, I'm not going against that. I'm just saying that's what could have happened if he stuck with it. But that's not the case. I think he does Sonic what ifs, so.
Really?
I think he does. Or I'm thinking of someone else. I might be thinking of someone else.
What else do we got?
What else do we got? Let's see. I'm gonna skip over a few since there's some stuff that we kind of talked about. Do you have a favorite non-what if video made?
Yeah, definitely. The mini jobs of the Z Fighters. That one's so much fun, and it's really interesting. I'm gonna remake it actually because I'm not happy with my voice in that video, but I'm gonna remake it and re-upload it sometime soon.
That's fair. Something else I was curious about is like, what do you take back from your fans when you're making what ifs?
What do I take back from my fans? Like, I don't
Like your
understand
comment section or Discord, like do you
what-
take any inspiration from that?
Oh, yeah, the comment section usually, and if people want to reach me, Twitter, I always read those the Twitter DMs, even if I don't always reply to them. I always read them. I just sometimes forget because they don't go to my main DM. They go to the people who you
Oh,
don't
I have the
follow.
same. I have the same setup too. It's basically if I
Yeah.
accept it, I can look
Yeah,
through
and I
some.
always forget about them, so sometimes I don't end up replying, but I always read them, and that's the best. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way. If people need to DM me about something, I've checked it out. Like in the past, I helped a few people get their channels back from false strikes, but
Oh, nice.
I've been so busy editing, just what is.
Yeah.
Hey, something else I was curious about is when you started doing non-what if videos on your main channel and people weren't liking it, how did you continue wanting to experiment despite
I
some backlash, I guess?
right. I don't know if I call it backlash. It's mostly just like people aren't used to that kind of video, so they just don't watch it.
Yeah, that's
Um,
a better way of phrasing. I have a good
yeah.
things
Um,
at the moment.
I just it's a nice break from what ifs because as much as I love them, everybody needs a break once in a while. And sometimes if I want to just cover something else, I'll do it real quick in a separate video and have a little bit of fun. It won't get as many views usually. It's usually like a couple thousand, um, which it's not really about the money anyways. It's just about having fun with Dragon Ball at this point. So
Yeah, and something to kind of follow up with it. We already covered that one. All right. So more into Dragon Ball related questions since we
yes,
talked about your
sir.
channel. So would you want to Dragon Ball possibly go past into Z, or you think that the original ending should stay?
I think it should go past the end of Z, but they should not touch the end of the actual ending of the manga. I think the ending of the manga is incredible. I love it so much, but I wouldn't mind going beyond it and showing Oob and Goku training and stuff like that. But they should not be retcons or anything. If they do want to do something, in Japan they should make a new release of Dragon Ball like they did with the Kansenban, or whatever it was called. I think it's the Kansenban. They should do something like that and add one page to the ending that adds Beerus and Whis looking down at Goku while he takes off with Oob. But that's it. Don't add anything else. Don't change anything else.
I mean, I personally, the only thing, like, this would be a separate manga thing on its own. This would be in Super's manga take, not into Z. This would be its own thing. The whole thing that I would want is Oob to be scaled properly to where Goku is at that time. It's the only issue. Because nothing else writing-wise is bad. Everything else makes sense for the most part. And with like Beerus and Whis probably being added, like that's kind of it.
Yeah,
If you want to throw in Tarbell, sure, he can show up at the end for
I think one of the funniest things is that the more Super goes on for, the stronger Oob is, because resting Goku is so much more strong than he was when Z originally ended. So
yeah, and I think that's
Oob
the
just
only
becomes
issue.
more and more impressive. No, I think it's hilarious. I think it's awesome that Oob is that powerful.
I mean, like, it doesn't have to exist. Like, you could just be like, oh, it's implied he's this strong somehow. It's like, it's nuts, but sure, why not? That's just what happened.
What else do we got about Dragon Ball?
Oh, I do want to talk a bit about the new movie trailer came out a little bit.
Yeah. I'm really, really excited about Dragon Ball Super Superhero. I am disappointed that we're not going back to the Broly art style and animation. But I think it looks fine. Shintani, yeah.
Shintani, yeah.
I don't think it looks bad. I think it looks fun. I've been asking for a 3D Dragon Ball movie for a while, and I know I'm in the minority here. And I would have liked it to be something else. What I wanted is a 3D Dragon Ball movie that covers the original arc, or the original first two arcs or whatever. I want a series of movies in that art style, just covering the original manga. But I'll take this. I think it's a cool way to show our characters in a different way. Because one of the many problems I have with the series is that they tried to stick so much to the past that it keeps you back from evolving. They definitely changed it up for Broly, and I don't mind them changing it up for Superhero. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I'm just happy to see something new. I'm happy that Gohan and Piccolo are the main characters, it seems. I'm glad that Goten and Trunks are grown up. I'm just looking forward to the movie. I'm really excited for it.
I think the only issue I personally have is the shading, but I think that's just YouTube's awful compression. As we both know, when you upload, YouTube does compress your video. Even this one will probably be compressed as well. It's not as good as quality as it would be, unfortunately. But
yeah, what do you think? Are you excited for the movie?
I think it's gonna be good. I think it's not gonna be as awful as people are saying it is. I think that there is gonna be a good amount of slice of life in it compared more Broly. I feel like I think we're not gonna jump into like a battle as immediately as what people would personally want. But I do think we might have a better mystery element to it because they're keeping relatively fair, at least as far as we know, to kind of like hide who this main villain guy is.
Yeah.
Like,
I hope they don't do.
We have so much character from him, but we have no clue what made him who he is yet.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to. I really hope they don't do what they did with Broly, where they showed Gogeta in the last trailer of the movie, and nobody knew that Gogeta was gonna be in the movie up until then, and I would have liked them to keep that a surprise. So I hope they don't show like Cell returning or something like that if he is returning.
I am nervous about trailer 2 because I think the funnier thing is someone told me Majin Buu's coming back because the round spear thing's gonna be a metal version of Buu. It's like, it sounds insane, but I wouldn't put it past them for that.
I think it's gonna be 21. I think it's gonna be a canon version of 21.
If that's the case, that would be more interesting, personally.
Yeah, I agree.
If that happened.
Yeah. What else do we got?
We only have a few questions left. We're pretty much done here.
Darn.
Why just go any longer?
It's just fun. I'm having fun.
Something I was curious about was what was your favorite what if from the games that you liked?
That's a good question. It's been a while since I've played them. One of my favorite ones was always from Budokai 1 is what if Cell absorbs Krillin and he becomes Cellin, just a little tiny useless fucking android. That one's really fun. What if Roshi defeated Broly from Budokai Tenkaichi 3 is fun. Supersonic Warriors always had the best ones. So I think the Broly one might be my favorite, where Broly becomes good and Hercule helps him and 18 helps him. That one's fun. I really like that one.
Let's see. Something else I was curious about. It's like, was there a point you ever felt like quitting YouTube or what if content at any point?
Not really. I mean, every now and then, you get worn out and tired. I mean, I'm sure you know what I mean.
It's what the grind is. That's just how it
is. But you just gotta keep pushing yourself. Especially with school and stuff like that. Sometimes you do get like, I can't. I don't know how much I can do. I have so much homework and life stuff. But you just push yourself. And if you like what you do, you just keep going.
Do you have any other Z movie stuff you'd like to see become canon?
I don't know if I do at this point. I didn't want Broly to be canon, but they did a great job with that, so I could be more hopeful. I wouldn't mind Cooler. I think everybody really likes Cooler to some degree. I'm looking around to see the Dragon Ball movies in my room. What else?
I think Cooler's like a fan favorite. A lot of people say that
definitely.
One.
So probably Cooler. Maybe like
I think Slug could be interesting. From what we've seen with Minato, you could rewrite it.
Yeah.
And upscale him a bit to exist, but
that'd be cool. I wouldn't mind a new evil Namekian. I think that'd be cool. I think maybe not Turles himself, but the Crusher Core I think is cool. Same with the Bojack. But I think what are their names? The ones from the new arc. The Heaters?
I think the Ceruleans remind me a lot of Bojack.
Yeah, the stuff in the new arc.
Like, I was wondering why didn't they just consider bringing them back and just call that keep some of the lore elements. But I
Yeah,
guess they want
I
to make
think it
new
would have been cool.
characters.
Yeah, just stuff like that. But Janema's dope. I wouldn't mind Janema being reused for a villain of an arc. Because Janema's an awesome design and his powers are really cool.
Janemba's scaling's a little nuts if you consider if he has reality warping or not. Like
Yeah.
that's I know it's highly debatable between power scalers. I'm sorry, I'm kind of bringing it up, but at the same time, it's like I don't know. It's like, does he? Maybe we kind of see feats. They're related. Let's see. It's more general YouTube stuff I was curious about. It's like, with someone who has a large audience, what's the best way you've learned to deal with like harassment?
Oh, definitely using the filters on YouTube. I have many filters for words. The N word, the F word, just stuff like that. Just stuff you don't want to see.
There's so many obvious stuff you don't want to see in your comments.
Yeah, no, not only for yourself, but to cultivate a better community. You know, like that.
Yeah.
If you have racists and harassers in your comment section, it's gonna be uncomfortable for people of color and stuff like that. So you want to create a good community. And the best way to do it is to block those people, remove those words of your community. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Have you ever received like actual criticism for a video and learned how to improve after it?
Yeah, a couple.
You don't have to name one if you don't know anything.
I don't. I'm trying to think. There's been a couple where I've been a little too edgy, especially early on in my career, where I was a little too edgy with my stories, and I think I learned from that, and I think for the better. I don't like being too edgy with Dragon Ball because Dragon Ball's just a lighthearted series at the end of the day.
Let's see. Something else I was curious about is with like the dislike button being gone from the public. Do you think that's caused more problems for you, or actually helping? Like actually being helpful?
I haven't seen any helpful things for me, but in general, I just think it's a bad idea. One of the best things that dislike button was used for is whenever you looked up a video, trying to get help from someone, or looking up like, oh, how do I do this in my computer, or like things like that.
Did video editing, there's so much like scams for plugins, especially.
Exactly, and you can tell by the dislikes if they're real or not, and the fact that they're hidden is awful.
Yeah, it's very scary because you could easily download malware. Because if I recommend someone, hey, check out this plugin, but they download malware and accidentally, it's not my fault.
Yeah,
it's just that the dislike button's gone. You can't tell it's real or not.
Yeah, now the best way to do it now is just seeing how many views the video has and comparing it to the likes. So if the video has 100,000 views but only like 200 likes, you know the rest of the likes are probably, the rest of the bar is probably gonna be dislikes.
Oh yeah, and I especially think this has hurt a lot of smaller creators, even like myself. Like, if people just judge solely on likes and just leave, it's like I've definitely noticed a decline since it's been implemented. Actually, since then.
That's curious. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Because people are like, oh, this video doesn't have that many likes, so it's not well edited or good. But it's like, that's just how it goes, sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see.
What else?
As a large content creator, have you ever gotten like a strange sponsorship that was pitched to you, but you thought it was like a scam or maybe shady?
Yeah, there's always those like shady video games from the iPhone and stuff like that are really weird. I think especially the Dragon Ball ones
there's so many fake Dragon Ball games.
Yeah, I've gotten a couple of those, and it's just like, dude, I'm good. I don't want to support something like this. Those are always funny.
Yeah. Another big one I want to talk about is your thoughts on parasocial relationships. Actually,
I think that's always pretty toxic. I personally try to be more open with my fans and being like, yeah, you can talk to me whenever you want and stuff like that, but I think this applies less to us just because we are in a very niche community with where everybody talks to each other.
Well, the other odd case with myself is that I purposely try to keep in touch with people and understand it the best I can with how large the community is. But I do think some people like to grift a lot, especially. And be like, oh, this person's my friend. It's like, this person probably doesn't even know who you are. It's like
Yeah.
like
Um,
that's how
uh,
it is, I think, sometimes.
I haven't really seen much stuff like that, but that may just be because I'm in a very specific part of like Twitter and stuff like that, so I haven't seen
To
much
be
of
fair, our
that.
community's fairly light. There's not that much controversy that's happened at all
Yeah.
lately.
I mean, every now and then somebody's a dick, but like people ignore and move on.
It's nothing major, luckily, which I'm happy
Yeah.
about. What else I got? Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about like how important are outside platforms besides YouTube to you?
To me personally, I think they're really important. Twitter in particular is how I met a lot of my friends, so I'm always using it. TikTok is very important nowadays, just in general, just because of how big it's gotten. I've started to make TikToks a lot lately. They're a
I'm
lot of
getting
fun too.
yeah.
Um,
I noticed significant increase when Cartu did clips of his what if videos on TikTok. Like
oh
that was
really? I
really
didn't know he
major
did
when he
that.
did that. Yeah, on his TikTok. Originally, he tweeted about this and talked a little bit about someone was stealing his videos and uploading them as TikToks. But he realized he could do the same thing, and he actually started getting traction because people
Really?
want to go see the full video.
Cause I used to do that. I mean, I did that like a couple of times and I got a lot of views, but I didn't know if it was worth it, so I might do that again.
No,
Because some
it
people
is
upload mine
100%
too.
worth it because
Yeah.
people will feel the cliffhanger, you know? It's like, well, I want to go watch the full video now. See what
Yeah.
happens.
I might do that then. Because a lot of people do take my videos as well. I've seen quite a few of my videos on TikTok.
Yeah. I do feel like that's going to be a problem more in the future here,
Yeah, as
especially.
people grow, yeah.
All right, to close some stuff off here, is there anything you want to tell my audience before we end, I guess?
Sure. Thank you for watching, and I know we have a bit of crossover between our viewers, so I gotta say thank you to them as well, and thank you for having me on. You've been a fantastic host, and I really thank you for that.
You're welcome. And anyways, this has been SmugStick. If you want to check out his channel, it'll be in the description, in the video, or whatever else I'll put pinned comment. Something will happen for the end here. Anyways, it's been Drew from What If Universe. And always remember, what if universe, endless possibilities. I'll see you in the next one. Alright, good.
Awesome, great
Oh,
job,
wait.
man. That was a lot of fun.
I need to end the bot. 1 second. Or did it cancel itself? I don't know.
Hello, everyone. Uncle Joker here. Make sure to subscribe to the Society if you want to see more content, and use those opposable thumbs of yours to rate the video. If you want to be notified whenever I make a joke, hit that bell, because, you know, YouTube isn't enough of a joke as it is. Until next time, toodaloo!